Hey, hey, how you doing? Say the truth, don't hide it. Why you smiling? It's annoying. What you faking? Come and show it.
The Safeguarding Public Interest post is now closed, and it was a unanimous 98%. I have had a lot of comments saying that I need to prove my claim, and every paragraph that I wrote in the letter for publication has been backed up by evidence. And I'm going to share that evidence with you today, or at least part of it. And Monmouthshire County Council and the school have all had the evidence that I've submitted to them. Rather than look at the evidence and address it appropriately, the chair and vice chair of gatekeepers, as they will be known as, tried to cover everything up. They did not act with any fairness, impartiality, or without bias. And they certainly were not honest or transparent. I'm not asking you to take my word for it, but I'm asking you to look at the evidence. And the evidence will be at the end of this video with a Google link to over 200 documents of evidence pointing to their wrongdoings. In my defense of this video, the Defamation Act 2013 clearly states in Section 4 on matters of public interest, and I believe I've met that criteria. The Criminal Justice Act 1972, Section 33, clearly states the definitions of a public place, and there are no expectations of privacy in a public place, which is why I recorded all meetings with school and telephone conversations. And I'm so glad I did, and I've got no regrets. Because words have been twisted, manipulated, words I haven't said have been put on forms that have gone off to multi-service agencies and are complete false accounts. So let's start by listening to some of the recordings. And you can make your own minds up. Now this may sound a bit jumpy, but that's only because I've removed my son's name from the recording.
Good afternoon, Chester School.
Hello, is that Liz?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, why is it gone from school?
I'm sorry?
Why is this in from school?
His mum's collected him, got the dentist appointment.
I wasn't made aware of this, and the child arrangement order says that he's to remain in my care until tomorrow. You just made a big mistake, Chepstow School. I'm now calling... Okay?
Okay, yeah, fine.
Now my son, not being happy that he'd been lied to from the school and his mother, made the following recording.
Okay.
School told me they wanted me to collect you from school and bring you back here. Okay.
Why?
Because they're worried about your dad.
Then don't think they're allowed to do that.
The social worker and the police told me to bring you back here. If that turned up at the school, they had to call the police on them. They're not able to tell me why they called the police on them or why he went to school, okay?
So I'm not going to the dentist.
School said just tell you just to get you home safe.
So you run school, right?
Yes, effectively, to look after your well-being, to get you back home here safe. They wanted me to get you out of the school and to bring you back here, okay? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, okay?
Don't think Dad came from school.
The police had to remove him from the school, and they asked me to get you from school because they were worried in case the other children saw him. To if there was a problem today at the end of the school, it would be disruptive to the children.
What on earth would be disruptive?
I don't know. They can't share information on Friday. Had to take the dad off from the school. They can't let me know why.
We can check with the police.
They can't tell me why. They phoned me, but they can't tell me the details. Okay. So I don't know what's happening. I'm sorry.
What all my stuff is at Dad's?
Your PlayStation. Well, it might mean that you get someone to get it. I don't know who. What other stuff is there?
My clothes, my PlayStation, my charger.
Okay, your PlayStation. What else is there? What other clothes? Only the... I sent you last
Yeah.
night. Okay, so that's not a major problem.
Pants and socks.
That's not a major problem. Charger, you can use mine, okay? We'll get it again.
I find it very weird that all of a sudden, and it's like,
I find it all weird, all what happened this week. Okay? I find it strange myself. But your dad and I love you very much. Both love you very much. We're very proud of you. I'm both very proud of you. This will all calm down soon. Whatever's going on. You both have to keep strong, okay? Hey, you've got your printer to keep you occupied, haven't you? Yeah, I know you haven't got your PlayStation. Can you go upstairs and get changed and
yeah, there's a penguin.
lied. They lied, but we did it to your own safety to get you here.
Well, lies are lies.
Lies are lies, but sometimes. But I told you to now.
I thank you for your time and for being peaceful with me.
I thank you.
I always appreciate it.
No,
so.
I thank you for your courtesy.
Okay.
You know, you are, you know, you're a perfect example of how the police are. You know.
Thank you.
You know, you are. You know, you
That's
are.
nice to hear. Thanks.
You know, we got some bad apples in
Yeah.
there, you know, but we have that in every walk of life, don't we? We have
Oh,
them
I
in
guess so,
schools, we
yeah,
have them in
yeah.
children's services, we have them in
Yeah.
CAFCAS, we have them in courts.
Yeah.
And I've identified that, and now
Yeah.
justice needs to be served.
Absolutely.
All right, so
Yeah. No, thank you very much for your time. I'll leave you be, and just like I just said, just leave
I'm
the
there.
premises for now.
I gotta
Fab.
go. I can't go out that way.
No, you've got to go all the way
so
around, haven't
there.
you? That's fine. Thank you very much,
All
though,
right
Jamie.
then.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's great. Thank you.
The school lied and the mother lied, and it's clear to me that they were obviously working in unison together. And as the subject access request clearly shows, there was no appointment booked for that day. What they did do from the 25th of November 2024 is start to begin to build a picture on me and frame me for mental health issues. And as you can clearly see from Claire Rouglier's contact record to Gloucestershire Children's Services, spurious allegations, false statements based on no evidence whatsoever other than the word of a mother who just so happens to be a registered mental health nurse. It says it all, really. Now, for those parents who don't know what a child arrangement order looks like, This is pretty much what a child arrangement order looks like. And there can be various things written into it. But they clearly broke it. They clearly broke this order. You can see at the bottom of the page, it was my time to have him. It was week 1. It was agreed that the mother would not take my son out of the agreed time, but they just allowed it. And I think this was all because of the repertoire of the school and not in the best interest of my son. Unknown to me at this time, I didn't realise that the school were writing numerous duty to report, multi-agency referral forms and contact records, trying to frame me as someone who has got mental health issues based on no clinical facts whatsoever, only on the hearsay and the views and the opinions of a mother who is a registered mental health nurse and is not qualified to make decisions of those trained professionals such as psychologists or psychiatrists. It is clear defamation, and the school continued with this defamation. This is what I was given back. This was a spreadsheet that I did and gave to the school on the 6th of April to ensure that he wasn't taken out of my care again. In a subject access request that I made, they gave this back, but they gave the spreadsheet back in its form, and obviously checking through the properties on it, I realised that Nicholas Shepherd had changed the spreadsheet name from my son's hours to arrangement order from job, and clearly that's fraudulent. Purporting something to be a legal instrument when clearly it was a spreadsheet is quite frankly laughable. But this is the type of treatment that I was receiving from the school. Absolute abhorrent. I went to the parents' evening for the Estin inspectors on the 24th of March 2025 in hope to raise the awareness of safeguarding issues at the meeting. I respectfully waited until the end of the meeting and spoke to them privately, but Estin didn't want to know. They gaslit me, even though it says in their own policies that parental concerns will be given full consideration. You'll see that in the documents that I've put on the G drive. Owen Evans and Lynn Neagle. So Owen Evans is the Chief Inspector for Education for Estin, and Lynn Neagle is the MS for the Senedd, and she's the Cabinet Minister for Education. Both of them are well aware of what's happened at Chepstow School, but they've turned a blind eye, and I got the evidence to prove that also, which is in the link. Further forms were used to weaponize the safeguarding process against me. As you can see here, on Friday the 29th of November 2024, my son's mental health was used against me, and I was basically made out to be some sort of risk, some sort of massive mental health risk. Gone from something which was not known to children's services as being any danger whatsoever, to I'm an immediate danger, all because I went to the school and tried to notify them of safeguarding issues, and they didn't want to know. And the reasons why they didn't want to know is perfectly clear now. And that reason is that because they were working against me, that's the reasons why they didn't want me at the school. And that's why they told me to leave. They didn't want to listen to any concerns that I had. It was literally, get off the premises. Otherwise, we're calling the police. And it's obvious now. It's obvious now. It wasn't then, but it was obvious when reading through the papers that I received from Children's Services that were unredacted. I could see the lies that were being told. And again, it's all in the Google link for you to read. My son also recorded a meeting that had taken place between his mother and Children's Services in what can only be described as a plot to frame me for my mental health. But I'll let you listen to the recording now. Tell me what you think.
Thank you for coming. So I'm confusion. Hi, Nikki.
Hi, I'm Matilda.
I'm Mandy. Family support group. Okay. So, crack on, Nick.
Oh, it's really wonderful.
That's it. So the idea of today is for us to kind of just come and kind of see what's going on and see if there is a role for early help and what we can do to kind of help and support.
Okay, I don't know where to begin. It's probably best if I tell you the whole situation and then you can see how it all fits in together. So, okay, father owes me £10,000. They are due to CSA phone me the other day to say the court case is 2nd week of January. And they're going to force sale of his house. He hasn't paid for 5. His father is mentally unwell. And I said, he's due to go to his dad Thursday night tonight. I said I'll be breaking the court order if I send him. But I'd already spoken to Kirsty and I'd Gloucester Child Services, and I'd already spoken to the police and they said that's fine if you've got concerns and the police are saying you are able to break that court order. So then on the Thursday evening he turned up like I knew he would turn up. I'd already warned the police that he was going to turn up, but I didn't report it to the police then.
I think from our point of view, I hear all of your concerns. Where it comes to kind of what happens with sort of seeing his father and stuff like that, that's up to you're saying that you got worries, but that you don't think that there's kind of safeguarding. You don't think his father would do anything to him.
Not to him, no.
We spoke to Shen, no concerns, even though we feel we feel that there is more there at this moment in time. He's not voicing any concerns to us.
No, and he wouldn't know any different. It's when he gets older he might think, oh, my dad's a bit odd. He's unwell. His father's unwell. I know this.
So from your experience of working with mental health, if you've got significant concerns about somebody's mental health,
I've asked for a welfare check. I would still like social services to do a welfare check, but it would be in Wales at Line Gwent.
Well, that's not kind of...
I know, but how do I do that?
No, because we're not.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got, we're not social care. So we work for Gloucester County Council. So we're under the umbrella of Children's Services, but we are a consent-based service. We're not children's social care as in social workers. We are a consent-based service. So our team is Families First, and we support families on a level 3 of our WIN screen of levels of intervention. So we don't have social workers within our team. We have family support workers. What we do is we work closely with the families to do things like, making sure we've got a safety plan in place, giving you advice, signposting, what I would suggest in terms of, if he lives in Blind Gwent, you need to be ringing the police in Blind Gwent and saying, I've got concern. Okay.
I have.
What have they said?
That they would do, at that particular time when it was all going on, that they would do a safety check. But then I've also tried to then speak to them again about why the police were called to remove, and nobody will tell me. The school will tell me.
Okay.
Nobody will tell me. So again, that's a concern that as a mother I feel I should know. It's quite serious, as you know, when school have to call the police to get someone removed.
Yeah, and that for me is quite a not a normal behaviour. Then to go into a school and say I'm not leaving, and for schools don't call the police for
no reason. No, and I know that.
So
know what they won't tell. No one will tell me.
I mean, my suggestions, just off the back of what you're saying, is, twofold really. Sort of in terms of protecting yourself, you need to be engaging with GDAS. You need to be sort of on that phone to GDAS, saying, I'm worried about our safety within this house. Yes, there's lots and everything, but I need a referral to an IDVA. You need to perhaps be talking to them about getting support to get non-molestation orders in place. They can support you with target hardening in the house. So in terms of police alarms and things like that, you have had him removed from here on a number of occasions, which would warrant them then putting in, you're scared for your safety. So what they would
CSA, because the CSA are gonna rule that you.
So, and that's another thing. So my suggestion would be that you contact GDAS today, you give them all of this information again. I say I'm seriously worried for our safety. Can you refer for an IDVA, please?
Yeah.
And I know you're very busy. We're all very, very busy. It's the run up to Christmas. We're all very busy with our jobs, our careers and everything. However, this is your safety, this is his safety, and you've got to prioritise that.
I get that, but what do I do about getting a welfare check to that house?
So the more, if they've got no evidence of things happening, there's very little that they can do. So the more that you feel alarmed, threatened or harassed and you report that to 101, then that's building up a bit of a catalogue.
If you're having to live with somebody who is unwell, I'm having to deal with...
It's impacting your day-to-day life.
It is someone who's unwell, suspicious, paranoid, and yes, impacting on my life and my welfare. I as well, I just don't know, and it's also very difficult, isn't it? If it was a safeguarding concern where I thought it was violence and he was neglecting him in that way, that would be more straightforward. It isn't with mental health, is it? It isn't, and I know that, and I know that, it's possible if he really kicks off after CSA is forced to even with my oldest son, I have thought about dropping it, but then why should I drop it if they found £70,000? He owns his own home, why should I?
So I think around that time then, as you feel vulnerable and I'm not quite sure how he's going to be because with his mental health he's unpredictable.
Yeah.
And he will probably be showing signs of concerns. So that would be a time that you might say, right, I'm just going to keep away for a little bit and just see how it kind of pans out.
And that would be the time where he would probably cause a massive scene, and they would probably have to take him, put him on a 136. And take him, and hopefully he will get mental health support then.
And this is where Mandy's saying as well, though, if you reached out, as she advised with GDAS, for that support there as well, put all of these things into place now, before this all starts in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, no, that's what I intend to do, because I did take Gran Canaria. In my time, I didn't ask his dad because of the way he is. So yes, I shouldn't have done that.
If it's within a certain amount, as long as you're not going past a certain amount of time,
he took me to court for that, to try and get me in trouble, enforce, and the judge said I can't enforce anything. At the end of the day, I'm not, I should have asked his permission, and I have done all over the years. I've just had a guts form. You can imagine a terrible year, knowing that he's paid no money for years and years and years, trying to keep it all together, and I'm just like, going away for a week. and it's all to benefit of the day. He doesn't ever do anything with him. But again, I suppose on reflection, maybe I triggered, because of the paranoia, the suspicion that that's a difficult man. But yes, if I've got consent, then yes, I will do that again. I'll break it again if I need to.
I think so. We're not like legal advice or anything like that, but I don't know whether it'd be worth going to speak to a solicitor about everything that's going on at the minute.
One thing, yeah.
To see what they advise.
Absolutely. My next thing was to say
I can, and what has happened recently.
Yeah, I think it's tricky because we are, as we say, kind of the law service, and we're very kind of limited really without kind of voicing any concerns to us at this moment in time. But it doesn't mean that if things were to change, starts to kind of voice concerns, whether that's in school, whether that's to you, that you can't kind of come back.
And they let me know that, and they're excellent at school, and it kind of, in some ways, at least they now know what I'm dealing with. I had to represent myself in court, stand up for myself, and these men are very hateful that I've done that, but if somebody does you wrong, and I gave them every chance, and then I'm fighting for what, I need to. And it's, I suppose a lot of women feel like this, and can be when people think, they're vulnerable or put you down, and then you have to fight and come up fighting and really fight and
then you
win.
become quite empowered through that.
I do feel empowered, and I will do it all the time, represent myself in court if I need to, and I tell people that on the phone that I support, you can do an occupational order online. You don't have to go into debt spending loads of money on solicitors. You can, do all these things. So it's been educational as well, really, although tough at the time. I felt like a solicitor taking photos, building my own, it's been
But
tough.
I think at the moment with your concerns around, how he is and what he's been doing, you do need to get some legal advice.
You do. He's very dangerous. Very. He's ill, but he, gets fixated on it. He's unwell, but.
And you don't have control over his mental health. He just sounds like he doesn't have control over all that. But the things you do have control over, like working with GDAS, seeking some legal advice on where you go at the minute, is there if you have concerns, doing a welfare check, making sure that you are reporting anything if you're feeling threatened, alarmed or harassed in any way by him, making sure that you're contacting 101 999 if you are really, you do feel at significant risk then. Can you think of anything else?
No, I think you've covered it.
Yeah. Okay.
If then you want to be referred into early help, then you can do, but I feel until his voice has changed, then until kind of sharing any concerns or worries, then there is very little that we can do at this time. Which feels very frustrating.
Yeah.
Because
it feels very frustrating me knowing that the father's, and it's not me making it up,
no.
He is, unwell. The police have seen it, I've seen it, and the school have probably thought,
the more that you are reporting things that need to be reporting builds up a picture. If
and nothing you can do.
And you're not reporting it, then it doesn't build up a picture, and then professionals have got nothing to use to make any change.
Yeah, and that's why I've been doing it all, reporting everything. It's just, yes, it's frustrating, but then lots of people live in the community who are mentally unwell and they aren't medicated or they don't know they're well.
Your life and your son.
They're not, no. And but this is impacting. It not so much Connor, although some of the idea,
need to go and get that because that's not our
area.
I don't really know about that stuff, but that would be through GDAS and through also kind of seeking that legal advice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Fine. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much. And you
right.
both have a lovely Christmas.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for coming, and thanks for your advice as well. I think that you did one up as well. Yeah.
Take care.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
So this is just a very, very small piece of what I've had to contend with in just over a year now. And the evidence that I put on the Google Drive, even though it's damning to the non-registered teacher and members of staff, the evidence that I sent to the Education Workforce Council, which, by the way, Monmouthshire County Council have already had this evidence as well, is very damning indeed, and shines an even bigger spotlight on the corruption and the abuse of process, the abuse of power, and it just demonstrates really that the safeguarding process can be abused, and it can be used as a weapon against parents. And in just over a year, after being ignored through various emails, answer phone messages left, telephone messages left for the leadership team to, get in contact with me in regards to my son, I then attend a parents' evening, which was accosted, if you like, by the head teacher, who then tried to bully me, that if I wouldn't engage with her, then she would get me removed from a pre-booked parents' evening, and I just absolutely gobsmacked at the total abuse of power.
No, I've been advised not to engage with him.
But Mr O'Brien, in terms of the school, if you don't engage with me, then I have to ask you to be removed.
So this is basically what folders that you'll be getting when you download the G Drive link. Where the green tick is, that's basically saying where the letter for publication is, that's been updated by dates. So obviously underneath those dates, then it'll tell you what file to go into to back up what I was saying in the letter for publication, with the evidence in the appropriate file under that date. This is a serious safeguarding scandal that has been identified in a school. There are no checks and balances for bad practitioners, and people can get away with writing false statements, basically with impunity. And this has to change. There needs to be reform.